Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alrighty, thank you so much, Josh. I want to make note as well. You see the fireworks, don't know what's going on with it. Casey Horton's going to be on the front row out of Cleveland, Texas. To the outside is the lady in the field, Tiffany Welch. As we're getting ready to drop the hammer and get the King of the Hill. First C feature underway here tonight from the Boothill Speedway. Wrap them up, pull them tight. We're underway from Boothill off of turn number 4. So taking the top 4 to the dance tonight, just had to swap microphones. I'm not going to play around with that one. So nonetheless, we roll into turns 3 and 4. Out front, it's Horton with the race lead. Here comes the 2017 rolling off of turn number 4. It's Donald Kane Jr. trying to raise a little bit of his last name. As he rolled down and stroll into 1 and 2, Weatherford's off the pace and may bring out the first caution of the night. And he may not. He's out of harm's way right now for the time being. And caution flag will come out as we're door-to-door for the race lead. And Donald Kane won last year's Jerry Whitaker Memorial at the South Texas Speedway. So got Tiffany Welch, the lady in the field, and the affordable cleaning number 58. And that Wild Child chassis. Off of 4, we're underway to the green flag. Not a good start for Kane. As Alex Bates will throw his hat in the ring in the 14X. They'll hustle back into turns 1 and 2. Meklicek got way up out of the groove. He lost wholesale spots. Like out of the, oh, look out, Edwards. That got a little bit ugly there for just a moment, but could have been worse. As here comes Kane for the race lead. Donald Kane raising some of his last name off of 4. As we're going to get another caution here at turn number 4. Nope, well, we won't. Send him straight on to promoter school, folks. We like him. Thank you, sir. Under the green flag, no harm, no foul. Rolling into turn number 3, Donald Kane giving hail right now to Horton. Here he comes to the inside for the race lead. Not enough, as Wilburn just threw a slider on the 58 of Welch. He'll go to 3rd, now in the 4th and final transfer spot in the clutches of Bates, and the number 1 car rolling up into the mix now as well. It's heating up here tonight at Boot Hill. Only 4 of them go to the dance. The rest of them will have to throw it on a trailer. Guess what? We'll have to see them later on another dirt track Saturday night, but their chance and a bid for 10 grand will be up in smoke. And off of 4, still side by side for the race lead. And nose and ahead by half a cat's whisker. It's going to be Donald Kane. The Willis Texan goes door-to-door with the Cleveland, Texas racer. Not too far from one another, Willis and Cleveland, and right now waging war door-to-door into turn number 3. No longer door-to-door. He'll sidestep and relegate Horton to 2nd. Goes Donald Kane to the race lead. Kane to the race lead. Battle for the 4th and final transfer spot here off of turn number 4 as they work down Main Street. Welch wants it. She'll continue to try to slam the door on the number 14 exit, Alex Bates. I mean, how impressive would it be if Tiffany Welch could make this dance tonight out of 139 cars that checked in? Tiffany Welch, I think that would just be a prime indication that she has really stepped her game up. And she wants to be considered just as another driver. She don't want to be looked at like she's just a female driver. She wants to have some respect put on her name. She's earning it here tonight no matter what happens from this point on. So Welch still comfortably, well, I wouldn't say comfortably. She bobbled off the exit of 2, opens up the door again for Alex Bates. Bates trying to take advantage on any little bit of a mistake that the 58 will give him, as we're halfway in and the other half to go yet. As Welch right now with about a 1-car length advantage in the 4th and final transfer spot as they continue to hustle around the Boothill Speedway at a high rate. As working through lap traffic, Donald Kane cannot find the lane. He has worked and he just shoved. I mean, come on, Laxton. Is that who that is? He needs to get out of the way. Well, we got one facing the monster truck tires up there. Donald Kane going to take flight here off of turn number 4, get this party restarted. Down the boulevard, he'll head off into 1. Donald Kane leads his, Tiffany Welch just got snookered. She'll work to the inside, they'll go door to door, 3 wide for the 4th and final transfer spot. It's heating up at Boothill. Here comes Billy Taylor and 10X. They're trying to walk through it and go 3 wide with Welch the meat in the bun here. 58. You couldn't have slid the Holy Spirit between the right side of the 58 and the left side of the 14X of Bates. And Tiffany Welch up on the wheel. She's going to take it back. Welch going to take the 4th and final transfer spot back. She says, sit down, boys, and take a seat. How long will it work? Oh, man, the car hopped there. She may have blown a left rear. I'm not sure. We'll try to get a better look at it here as they dance through 3 and off of turn number 4. How about Tiffany Welch still holding on to the wheel? She got the proverbial both hands and both feet up on it now. She needs maybe the rear view because they're coming. And I'll tell you what, Glenn Lindsay has worked his way near from the tail in the G25, and he has rolled and strolled his way up to the 6th spot. G25 is rolling now. And that bootlegger race car as he rolls down the front boulevard into turn number 1, G25, just 2 spots out of the mix here. As Tiffany Welch now goes and sets sights on the red deck lid of the 02 of Horton for 3rd. So Welch has now turned up the wick and left the clutches of the 14X of Bates. So Bates still 1 spot right now outside of the show. He's looking in, trying to get in there. He's got to get up on it and work the wheel. Glenn Stewart having his best performance, I'd say, of this all weekend long. He's had hard luck and tough luck. Well, we'd say his last 15 outings in this factory stock division. But has never lost optimism and has really came out and gives it hell each and every week. Got to respect that. As we hustle into 1. He's about to run out of TIME, though. He may need another caution as the G25 is certainly rolling. As we roll into 3 this time and off of turn number 4 to the white flag from Donald Kane Jr. out of Willis, Texas. Kane has thrown the keys on the counter and checked out on him. As 2017 rides off into the Greenwood night and the yellow comes out. The yellow will come out as he comes to snag the white. On each and every one of these C features that's to come. But right now, Welch holds it. And a ticket for $500 to the main event tonight. Can she hold on to it? They'll try it again for a green-white checkered. We'll see who gets it. We're back underway as Kane leads them to the green flag. Good restart by Welch. She'll try to get back up there and protect. She'll hustle it into 1 and 2 on the back of the number 66 of Jacob Wilburn. Tell you what, Tiffany Welch, she wants to get comfortably in this show. And here comes Glenn Lindsay. Glenn Lindsay to the inside of the 14X of Bates. Boy, he's trying to get into it. Trying to snag another one. And the white flag will come out. Welch into the inside of the 02 of Horton. She still holds the 4th and final transfer spot as Glenn Lindsay, Billy Taylor diamonds off the exit and goes 3 wide for 5th down the back boulevard into turn number 3. Riding to the checkered flag, taking the victory in commanding fashion, car number 27 out of Willis, Texas. Donald Kane and Tiffany Welch will go to one of the B mains. Yeah, I keep saying going to the A main. Can you hear that? The music? You couldn't? Okay. Lordy. Alrighty, folks, underway with C feature number 2 of the night here at the Boothill Speedway. We're going to roll them down into 3 and 4 here on the opening circuit. As a stacked field, each and every one of these, and the fields are just going to get tougher and tougher and tougher as we move on and go forward. So right now, leading into 1 and 2, the Florine, Louisiana racer, the reigning Sabine Motor Speedway factory stock track champion. It's Brian Cook and the K. Dillard Racing Shocks, supplying that dig underneath that 100-plus Outlaw Racing chassis built by Justin Whitehead. as they roll off of 4. Again, taking the top 4 to one of the B mains, and a shot in the shorts there from Burrows to the 6 of A-Dub, Alex Williams there. As the Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby here in the 12 innings, we'll get a caution out on the speed plant. So Cortland Smith started this one from the pole position out of Alexandria, Louisiana. He slid back a spot as Brian Cook out of Florine, the reigning Showtime Speedway, or Sabine Motor Speedway track champion, and the 100-plus Outlaw race car. Got the K. Dillard shock supply on the dig as they'll take us back to the green flag from Keith Parker. We're back underway here at Boot Hill. Here comes Chop. Pork Chop Chamberlain rolls the number 70 car. The Jacksonville Texan up to second now will set his sights on the race lead. Here comes the Marshall Missile. Grigsby had to get on the binders there, rolled up to the right rear to the number 2 car in the turn number 3. As we got some corners here at the tail between A-Dub and a few other guys as Mike Wells trying to forge his way through. As Ronald Pilkington right now sits in the 4th and final transfer spot as we head back to work down the back straightaway. Man, I got hands all over my freaking legs. Damn. So Pork Chop Chamberlain finished 4th here in the 2016 edition of the King of the Hill, the second running of it. Behind Taylor Carver, he had a hot rod for the majority of that race, but still finished inside of the top 5 as Chop was up to second at one point of that event. As a driver who scored 15 factory stock feature race wins at Lone Star Speedway between 2013 and 2017. As Pork Chop Chamberlain rolls into turn number 3. Still continues to be Brian Cook out of Florine, followed by the Jacksonville Texan as the Alexandria youngster, the 20-year-old Cortland Smith, and the 7S student at Northwestern State University rolls in the 3rd spot, comfortably looking to go to one of the B mains coming up. As in the 4th and final transfer spot again, it's the Marshall Texan Ronald Pilkington. Rollo sits 4th right now, appears to be pretty comfortable in that laser chassis. Swung a little high, wide, and Hanselin there off of 4 and opened up the door. Opened up the door for Brandon Williams and that 2X machine as they hustle back into turns 1 and 2. Rollo has his hands full, it appears, with the double deuce car. May need to tighten that baby up as Derek Grigsby's now gone to work on the back bumper of the 2X. He'll go back to the outside. Grigsby runs the outside of Boothill Speedway very well, and he'll try to work it. Not sure there's a whole lot up there for the taking right now. So we've seen Derek Grigsby have to come out of a C feature. He actually won this event in 2017. When it paid $7,000, also doubled up and won the limited race, so he took $8,000 back to Marshall for his efforts that night, sweeping the night as Burrows just threw a haymaker to the inside of Williams. Burrows has the faster car, but he used 8 tires instead of 4. So Burrows, I guess that's what you're going to see for racing for 10 grand. And Derek Grigsby just got a shot in the shorts from Williams. So just before business picked up, mentioned that Derek Grigsby came out of a C main and won the 2017 race for Joel Ball, driving that B1 Team 91 Motorsports chassis car. And it was very impressive on that night. Got his work cut out for him, does Grigsby, as he's in the clutches now, the 2016 winner of this event. In an odd spot, unorthodox to see Taylor Carver back here, nowhere near a transfer spot. So the clock continues to tick here as they roll off for turn number 4. Lap traffic, as we'll get a caution here in turn number 2 for Mike Wells in 38. Also get a chance to race for $10,000. So this is one of those races where the guy says, yeah, you remember what you did like 3 years ago? I didn't forget. We're back underway as they hustle back into one on the restart. Brian Cook still leads in the 100 plus, the Florine, Louisiana racer. 3 wide for 3rd off of turn number 4. They work down the back boulevard into turn number 3. It's heating up. Second C feature of the night here at the Boothill Speedway for the 6th running of the King of the Hill. And Pork Chop's taking a stab again for the race lead. Nothing doing for Chop as A-Dub got around the double deuce of Pilkington. And Pilkington is, and Rollo drove it in really deep and lost the handle. And now Alex Williams going to come to a stop, it looks like, at the top of turn number 2. He's still rolling, though. A-Dub still rolling. We'll keep it under the green flag. The sand of the hourglass is ticked away here. For everybody from 5th on back, it doesn't appear that they'll even have a shot unless we get a late caution here as we roll to the white flag, this time by from flagman Keith Parker. Brian Cook leads Chamberlain. The 7 of Burroughs has come from deep. And in the 4th and final transfer spot here on the final circuit from Alexandria, it's Cortland Smith. To the checkered flag, the 100 plus of Brian Cook will win it. Uh-oh. I didn't see what happened to Carver. Cleveland to the 44G. That'll be Leslie Graham to the outside of Graham. It'll be the 07 of Royce Jones out of Troop, Texas. Starting inside of row number 6 in the 11th spot, it'll be Randy Cox out of Blanchard, Louisiana. Mackenzie Vanover, the other lady in the field racing this weekend in the 20V. Outside of him, we're underway. Uh-oh, not a good start. As the outlaw race car number 1 of Jeremy Laxton was able to corral it, though. We'll stay under the green flag. As we hustle and work our way into turn number 3 on the start of this one, as Bubba Jones has jumped out early to the race lead. Jones to the race lead in 21 early. So off of 4, Bubba Jones has stretched it out. Advanced Powder Coating Weekly Racing Series. Week number 6 winner, Bubba Jones in the Granger Equipment Factory stocks as he leads right now. Inside of 2 out of Ruston, Louisiana, it's Lee Patton. Lee Patton from Ruston to the 100. Outside, Tommy Williams Jr., former SmackDown winner for $3,000 down the road at RPM. He's out of Mansfield on the 151. Inside of our number 3, the 42 car, that'll be Timothy Holt from McLeod, Texas. Outside's Josh Daughtery from Shreveport in the 34 Junior. Your reigning track champion here at Boothill in 34 Junior. We're underway in your 4th C feature of the night here for the factory stocks at Boothill. They'll roll them down into turns 1 and 2 here. And off of turn number 2, down the backstretch, Jody Prince going to jump out front with the race lead. JP out front with the race lead in the 11R car. Former machine that his son Rance drove. As, of course, we've seen Jody, his number is typically 10P. So as they work down Main Street into 1 and 2 on the start of this one and put the first lap into the history books as we work lap 2, off of 2, down the back straightaway. Prince will lead as their door-to-door for second. It's Tommy Williams Jr. and David Leger. Leger in that number 14 machine as they work through the middle point of 3 and they come off of 4. Here comes the reigning track champion, Josh Daughtery, trying to put that Ford to the test tonight. The Blue Oval digging around the outside of the speedway in this one. The driver of the Classic Auto Repair, Jen's River Restaurant, Osborne Chassis. And he works into turn 3. Here comes Daughtery. He'll nose ahead and take the 4th and final transfer spot by about a half of a nose. 34 Junior digging up top as the 14 of Leger has brought him along with him. Tommy Williams Jr. shoving it from the wall down to the basement down there 1 and 2. Kind of chopped the nose on the 100 to Lee Patton just a little bit there. But he'll work and he'll get a big run off of 2 and into 3. Lee Patton back up on that horse. Puts a whip to it as Tommy Williams is taking second. But here comes Lee Patton. Former Open World Modified standout Lee Patton. Prior to getting the phone call as the hired gun for this 100 car for Tommy Mercer. He drove it 3 years ago, but prior to that, Lee had not raced his modified. I think we were working on 5 years or so, as Lee has long time been one of the standouts in this division. Former Doug Murphy Memorial champion. Oh boy, that got close. Josh Daughtery, a little bit of contact down there on the front straightaway. Oh, and they'll get finished off. He got a little loose down there in 1 and 2, and Daughtery will smack the skidder tire, and around he goes like a top. Recognize Jody by 10 or 10P, but again in the 11R for Rance's former car, Jody Prince will lead. Tommy Williams Jr. from Mansfield, Texas. David Leger at a Plantersville, Texas, and Lee Patton, your 4th and final spot right now as we're back underway here at the hill. Oh, Williams got in there hot. Oh, and I don't know if they ever made contact. That was close. Woo! I couldn't call that. I don't know about you folks that may have seen that from the vantage point from Austin's camera sitting at home at the house, or what the fans may have seen. I try to stay out of the speculation game because guess what? We stayed green anyway, so it's not really going to be a call that we'll sit here and spend a whole lot of time on. But nonetheless, it's a tough break for Jody Prince. Tough break for JP, as we'll stay under the green flag in this one. For what it's worth, it appeared my vantage points right now were 3 wide for transfer. Baby, it's heating up. It's Ricky Sessions who has rolled his way. That last time by was scored the 4th and final spot. As we roll off of turn number 4 down the front boulevard, as David Leger Jr. will lead. The Plantersville Texan David Leger, the limited modified standout driver. As off of turn number 2, heading down the back boulevard, you got a war being waged right now, and it's a dogfight here at the Boothill Speedway. Here comes Flying Brian. Brian Mewburn got a little bit of a shot in the shorts there off turn 2 last night, heat number 13 in round 2. After he took a stab for the lead coming from outside of row number 4, started 8th. And I think that he wouldn't even be in one of these C-mains had that not happened. But that's just a part of it. But Brian showed that he's got speed, and he's, again, doing it here on this Saturday night special. As he has just worked his way to the 4th and final transfer spot, Brian Mewburn is flying and living up to his moniker. A lot like Lee Patton. These days, Brian Mewburn, former open wheel modified standout, doesn't get behind the wheel of the factory stock as often. His son Colby's driven it the last several years. Now his 16-year-old son Connor races it each and every Friday night at Texarkana. But Dad back as the hired gun this weekend with sons turning the wrenches. So Brian proving that he can still do it as good as any of them. The 2-time factory stock 50 winner. Again, sits in the 4th and final spot. We'll see if Sessions can mount another charge here as we work down and tick another lap into the history books. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by underneath the ABC Auto Parts flag stand. As business has settled down a little bit in this one, it appears Mewburn, if he can hold on, barring a mechanical setback or a caution, there it went. Just as we spoke of the devil. Turner. By the way, I'll let you know what's going on with the World of Outlaws at Kokomo tonight. Cade Dillard starts fourth in the 75-lap main event. I think Ricky Thornton Jr. is on the pole tonight, so that's what the World of Outlaws late models will let you know what Arklatex area standout Cade Dillard's doing tonight, as he's fourth in the World of Outlaws point standings. As back underway, though, here for 10 grand tonight. 10 large on the line here for the factory stocks. And Ricky Sessions getting knocked around like a ping pong ball in the restart. Took it away from Mewborn. Trying to slam the door shut on him. We got one coming around like a top there off the exit. No harm, no foul. Keith Parker shows them 2 more sticks. 2 more trips around the Boothill Speedway. You better throw your best pair of quarter-mile drives around the speed planet right now to the surface. And I tell you what, how about Josh Daughtery coming back from the tail? He's driving back to the front with his head on fire. To the inside of the 36, he's got one more quarter-mile trip. Can Daughtery do it? Can Daughtery come back from the tail and snag it? Oh, boy, he got in there hot and heavy. He was the aggressor, and I guess he felt like he had nothing to lose, but he's about to have maybe Ricky Sessions hot underneath the collar. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's a little hot underneath the collar, and he used his car as a weapon. Uh-oh. Hey, folks, I just want to go ahead and make it known that number 47. Outside it'll be the Frankston, Texas racer, the son of Billy. It's Jesse Mazzell in the 88, inside of 3. It's Bo Perry from Shreveport in car number 8. Nick Lawrence, he's out of Rogers, Arkansas in the 99 Dub. Inside of row number 4, Dylan Alaska, the Flying Hawaiian in car number 41. Logan Elwood from Marshall in the 808. George White in the P40 from Fort Worth in the P40. Daniel Lampier out of Eagletown, Oklahoma in the 51D. Sticker Miller in this one as Kent washed up the racetrack, opened up the door for Evans to go by and take the race lead. Strolling and rolling off of turn number 4 as we're still under the green flag. One's limp at the back straightaway, but it looks like he'll exit cleanly with no problems. So right now, off of turn number 2, heading down the back boulevard into turn number 3. It's Evans with about a 2.5 car length advantage over the Club 20 of Kemp. Kemp rides second in front of the 47 McNorton Dewatering sponsored entry of Michael Downey out of Houston. Uh-oh, we're going to have a problem. We'll get a caution here off the exit of 4. Evans has been on a roll this year. I mentioned that night when Neil Kemp stole one from him coming to the checkered flag here about 2 months ago now. He and Neil Kemp were both going for their 4th straight wins on that night. As rolling off of 4, we're backing away to the green flag. Oh, it's getting tight over there, folks, as they hustle back off. Head down the back straightaway. Bo Perry fitting into the outside, trying to grab the 4th and final transfer spot. Here comes the 8 car, Bo Perry to the outside of the hill. Jesse Mazzell continues to hold that spot. Bo Perry a little loose there off of exit. Irons it out, gets it straight off into 1. A little bit of a push developing on the 8 car, though. Having a hard time getting to the center of the corner. And they're going to go 3 wide, Dylan Alasko. Alasko going to walk through the threshold, given as he walks the dog around the hub of the track off of turn number 4. Alasko is working the basement. As the top 3 right now, tighter than the top string on a Texas fiddle. They roll into 3. It's still TJ Evans up front with the race lead. Evans and Kemp starting to heat up now. Trying to grab and pull the 215 to him. Neil Kemp trying to size him up and mount a charge. Here he comes. Boy, shades and memories of what happened here in week 5 of the season here at the Hill. Flashbacks of it as we roll into turn number 3. We've seen this story before between these 2 heavyweights. As TJ Evans trying to get the better of the Club 20 tonight. But again, the Club 20 in position to stalk and pick where he should or shouldn't go. As Kemp, one of the best to do it, to snatch one late. That is exactly how he earned the moniker and the nickname that I gave him of Stale Neil. And a caution flag will come out into 1 and 2. Flashbacks to that week number 5 main event when Neil Kemp was sizing him up and stalking his tire tracks for the entirety of that one. This one equally as important tonight Because if you don't advance from here, then you won't go main event dancing for 10 grand tonight. Here comes Neil Kemp on the restart. Oh, he got a little loose there. Got a little loose. Balled up the field from second on back. As Kemp now with his hands full trying to get back out on the horse and put a whip to it. As the driver of the McNorton Dewatering, sponsored 47 out of Houston, Texas, Downey going to have to put his hands and both feet back up on the wheel and go back to work. Got his hands full with the 8 of Bo Perry as they're trying to go 3 wide for transfer. So Downey now will separate himself, gets comfortably in the 3rd spot, working down to it. 6 laps to go this time. 6 to go this time by as they cross underneath the ABC Auto Parts flag stand. It still continues to be TJ Evans out front with the lead, trying to mind his own business, but all of a sudden, the Club 20's heating back up here late. Once Kemp gets in the zone, starts hitting his marks, he's tough to beat. And he's starting to fill it again into the Club 20 Outlaw race car. Chuck Priestley's best engine supplying the power underneath the hood of that hot rod. So we'll continue to keep our eyes on what happens there, but the battle for the 4th and final spot, it's a good one as well, as it's Jesse Mazzell right now sitting 1 spot out looking in as he takes another dive to the inside. Oh boy, that was close. As close as it gets there, close door-to-door racing, respect and sportsmanship shown there between the 88 of Jesse Mazzell out of Frankston. Using lessons learned from his father, the 8 of Bo Perry rolls into 3 and 4. Mazzell trying to work the wheel and work it well. Down the front straightaway they come. As Dylan Alasko had a provisional at this event in 2018, set quick time here. He is looking to be sitting on the sidelines tonight when they're racing for 10 grand if he doesn't get up on the horse. As we'll see 2 more trips around the Boothill Speedway and see feature number 5 presented by Granger Equipment Company. Last lap time for Kemp, an 18.891 to TJ Evans 18.926. So clearly, Evans faster. Gave him a little bit of a shot there, let him know he was there trying to rattle his cage. Will still Neil live up to his moniker and steal another one? Right out of the hip pocket of TJ Evans. He's seen this story before. They work down the back straightaway for the final time. The battle for transfer is good. You don't know who's going to get that one all the way up. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. And we'll go checkers. Thought there for a matter of moments we were going to get us a caution there, but the car down to the bottom of Miller out of the racing groove did not impede the progress of any of the leaders out there. And that'll... So Chris Hennigan, Justin Holt, Walter Hamilton, and Cole Ogden are all cars that not made it back tonight. As Chris Hennigan had a good car last night. I'm sorry. Wait, is that Chris? Yeah, there he is. All right. But look. He always puts himself in a good position. He's got a lot of work to do if Hennigan wants to make the main event tonight. Calvin Tucker right now with the race lead over Cameron Furrs. They work underneath the ABC Auto Parts flag stand to put another one in the history book, working lap number 4 of 15, 11 more trips around the Boothill Speedway. Tucker leads Cameron Furr, Kyle Blanton in the 4th and final spot is Jeff Hammett, the Terrell, Texas racer to the Outlaw race car. Acquired that machine this week from Brandon Brown. So Jeff Hammond, who's been doing limited modified or sport mod racing this season, looking pretty good in a transfer spot right now. Nathan DeLoe, one spot out looking in fifth. Randy Willard rides sixth with Josh Martin, Dylan Adams, Justin Holt, and David Edwards, your top 10 in this one. Everybody kind of single file, top shelf hustling. Tough break for Calvin Tucker, who is losing himself a power plant here. He's trying to hold on, folks. That thing is spitting and sputtering, and he just lost major steam on the entry to three. He's trying to get that baby and limp it. Can he do it, folks? Here comes Tucker. Oh, and he did it. Oh, my goodness. Jeff Hammond about drove underneath the fuel cell. Wow. Two very well-respected people in our racing industry. Filled the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Black Diamond House Car for Earl Pearson Jr. as well. So thank them for being a part at Boothill Speedway as well on the local scene. As we're back underway as they roll down the boulevard with the 23 Junior at Tupper out front with the race lead. What's for supper? How about a little bit of Cliff Tupper and around the 25 go? He got served a donut. Well, what's for supper? Cliff Tupper with the lead. The 25 serviced the donut down there, though, and turn number one brought us out under the caution. We'll get them stacked and racked. We're back under the gun, and the green flag comes out by Keith Parker. They'll hustle their way into 1 and 2. Jeff Chandler will quickly roll his way to the second spot and dispose of the 19 of Burford. They'll go door-to-door back here for fourth as they roll into turn number 3. Off of 4, Cliff Tupper Jr. sailing out front in the 23 Junior. Got a little loose there off the exit. darted from the top down to the bottom of the racetrack, and his car's a little bit tight, but all the while he'll still continue to hold on to the lead as the high side hustler trying to punch his time clock and get to work. Burford trying to get on the saddle like he's done each and every week, no matter what racetrack he's checked into. Didn't take him long at all to find that niche behind the wheel of that 19 car. Burford, long time been one of the more accomplished racers here in the Arklatex, and he's a madman, Your Honor, behind the cockpit. We'll see what he's got here. He's going to size up the 11C of Jeff Chandler. Two veterans of this sport. Chandler, long time, super late model competitor, as he hustles his way off into turns 1 and 2. So the battle for second's a good one. Long gone out front, walking the dog on him. Dirty Dancing out front is Cliff Tupper Jr. A great battle here for second, though, as Tim Eves has come on strong. How about this? Tim Eves Jr. is digging tonight. He's rolled his way up to the 4th spot as they hustle their way off into 1 and 2 with a little high, wide, and handsome there. As the best battle certainly is for second, as they work to the white flag this time by off of 4. A straightaway advantage for Cliff Tupper Jr., former limited modified track champion and former Louisiana State dirt track champion. He and his son both swept it, the factory limited 2015 edition of the Louisiana State Championship. His son's driven this machine each of the last 2 starts between Dirt on the Rev and here at Boothill, and he'll leave nothing on the table. Cliff Tupper gets right back from where he left off before he went on vacation. So Burford gave it exactly what you thought he'd give, H-E-double-L for it, but he came up a couple spots short, but he finishes 3rd on the podium, starting 10th in the Ford Junior 4-season standing. Ford Jr. just signed a scholarship to be a pitcher of McPherson, Kansas from McPherson College. Only has a couple starts left. It's Boone Evans in the Ford Jr. Thank you. As we're going to get to work here as we roll off of 4. Racer had a best finish of 2nd at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway back in 1992 for what it's worth. Mazzell, the veteran, will lead us to the green flag. And car number 50, we're backing away off of 4. Hustling into 1. Here comes David Winslet for the race lead. David Winslet will hustle his way back to the top shelf by the wall and smash the throttle through the firewall. Stuckey on the loud pedal in the 17. He'll go back up to the top shelf, and I tell you what, not too bad for a first-timer. I think a lot of folks would love to get an opportunity to drive it, but hey, when your mom and dad have filled the house car for Earl Pearson Jr. and the Lucas Oil team, I tell you what, this kid's nothing less than impressive, though. You got to give him, to this point anyway, a lot of credit. You're letting them big old wide Hoosiers help him out a little bit tonight, but all the while, the 24 Garen Lindsay, who's been really, really good in this class, have been really, really impressed with Garen Lindsay as he works the wheel. He'll work it well to the back of the number 17 of Stuckey as they work down Main Street into 1. Winslet sizing up the 50 of Mazzell for the race lead. Billy Mazzell washes up to the top shelf of the racetrack, but Billy Mazzell using the talents that he was blessed with, rolling with the race lead in the 3. You know, a couple years ago, Billy suffered a pretty serious heart attack, and I'm impressed with Jarrett Stuckey, man. He has reeled in the top 2 cars. Oh, and he nearly lost the handle. But the 21 got loose as well, and Lindsay will take advantage. And I'm telling you, this racing has been so good. When we put 20 of them out here on the speedway at one time later, it will get exciting. But right now, we got a score to settle with 2 to go. Winslet going to try to get back to the 50 of Mazzell. Mazzell not giving him anything to take. 21, just as I said it, 1 little bobble, and when a mistake, it'll allow the 21 to throw a slide job in the 3 and 4. How about a slide job by Winslet? Turning down underneath, will not be able to get the job done. The 50 of Mazzell relegated to 2nd. As David Winslet up on the horse now. Thank you, sir. May I have another? The 24 of Lindsay tried it underneath the 50, washed up the racetrack. The front end skated up. Nearly had contact with the wall. To the checkered flag. David Winslet wins in 21. So Tom Earl. Thank y'all. I know that sometimes they happen. But all righty, folks. Your first factory stock B feature, the top 10 go to the main event. Mercy. It's always nice to not have issues. Off the 2, down the back straightaway here in this one. Off a 2 down the back straightaway here at Boothill. It's Sean Graham. Last night's top qualifier. Will try to get the biggest win of his career tonight, but first he has to punch his ticket to the big dance. It'll be a 50-lap affair later on the night, paying $10,000 to win, $500 to start. So all these drivers just want to get inside of it, and then they can work the wheel and work from there. So right now, a lot of them are going to have to get up on the horse, start putting the whip to it, as we'll run down your running order right now. As out front with the race lead early, Streetport's Trouble Sean Graham at the W&W Timber, WCH powered XXX Hitman Designs entry as he rolls off into one with the race lead. But here comes the 2-time reigning king of the hill, Justin Whitehead, sizing him up. Whitehead, last time out here, Advanced Pro Hoodie Weekly Racing Series Night 8 of this 2020 campaign. Whitehead was disposed of driving the number C16 car for Tommy Mercer that night. Still an outlaw chassis, a lot just like this one is. Driving for Andrew Ross from the night. Well, what we've learned over the years, it does not matter what car this guy happens to drive. He's a madman, Your Honor. A desperate fool in the endless pitiful ropes, and right now he has set sights on XXX, and he wants his way. He wants to sit on the pole tonight. If Justin Whitehead starts on the pole at the 10K tonight, it could get ugly. You got to just be honest and call it like you see it. As here comes Dalton Faulkner, though. Dalton Faulkner, Thursday night's quick timer feature race winner here, night 2 of the Ronnie Adams Memorial, and scored a dub down the road at Arclotech. Showed that he can race with these guys. As again, 139 of them. Here comes Whitehead for the race lead. Whitehead's got it cooking up top, and Sean Graham goes, oh boy, there he is. At some point, he was going to bring it, and he brought it right to the outside of trouble. And Sean Graham going to slide back in front, and maybe he's getting back on it now, or he's getting on it. Not sure how conservative you can be or play here when you got 36J or 92 in this case breathing down your neck, as Sean Graham very well may have turned up the wick. He turned it up, he started separating himself. I tell you what, Sean Graham on the loud pedal separates himself from 36J. As Graham's last lap time with a 19.026 to Whitehead's 19.468, so 3 tenths quicker, about 3.5 tenths quicker. So this last lap time, Sean Graham, an 18.660, an 18.660, his best lap of the race. So if Sean Graham ever needed to get up on the wheel and he felt pressure, he just drove the best lap of this affair by the best factory stock driver in the business in the form of Justin Whitehead, the 2-time reigning $10,000 winner to the King of the Hill. As 3 heavyweights right now, 1, 2, and 3, with Dalton Faulkner driven his way up to 3rd. He'll need a caution if he wants to get up here and play with these 2 guys duking it out. As I tell you what, though, Sean Graham, as Justin Whitehead just turned his best lap of the race with an 18.692. So Whitehead's best lap is better than... No, it's not better than Sean. Sean's best is an 18.660. Whitehead's an 18.692. But Whitehead, that previous lap was his best one. So on this one, Sean Graham is consistently now stretching it out. I'm telling you lap times because there's not a whole lot. Yeah, well, we are taking the top 10 here. There may be a little bit going on here. So let's set that. We'll look at this also, catch them when they head off into 1. Graham leads by several car lengths. Faulkner's 3rd. Right here for 4th. It's the 5 of Lopez holding off the 15G of Cummings. The 14 of Kelly Lockey. 7th is the A1 of Phil Dixon. Bubba Jones at a Province all inside of a transfer spot right now as we got 2 laps to go. Philip Seals and Donald Kane Jr. right now your top 10, and we get a caution flag into 1. We got 4 of them scattered, smothered, and covered. One of those, he started to stretch it out on him. And then Whitehead turned his best lap on lap 10, the following lap, with an 18.692 for what it's worth. But Dalton Faulkner, the fastest car in this race with an 18.544. I don't typically talk a lot about lap times, but right now as these top 3 were duking it out, we'll see. As that's for the pole, but the top 10 all go into the dance tonight. And strangely enough, the smoke cleared on the 27 of Faulkner, and he is just as powerful on this restart as he was working his way to 3rd. So it'll be coming out this time, the white flag, as Sean Graham washed up the racetrack, and the 92 of Whitehead breathing down his neck. Look at this. The team cars, 21 and 14 going to go at it. Bubba Jones is in 8th. Lockie is in 14th, 7th. Gore right now has the 10th and final spot. That last time as he was scored 10th at the line. But it's a dogfight as Donald Kane Jr. just took it for a matter of moments. The checker's out. Sean Graham's going to be a pole sitter for the 10,000 win tonight. And to the line, it's going to be, was it Chop or Donald Kane? Outside, it'll be the 81 of Jason Ingles out of Longview, Texas. Jason Ingles in the 81. Inside of 2, it'll be the 47 from Hazlitt of Tom Earl. Vic Case in the C7 machine from Calhoun, Louisiana. Cortland Smith. So we go at it here full throat, 15 laps in distance, taking the top 10 to the main event tonight. It'll set your outside row. Your outside, as they're 3 wide at the flag stand, boy, that got close. A little bit of slight kiss of contact over there, a little bit of right side romance. They work down the back straightaway here. They were 3 wide for 5th. It's a log jam from 4th on back to the tail. We're going to keep our eyes on the 10th and final spot. They're 3 wide for the 10th and final transfer spot. It's heating up off of turn number 4. Look at this, folks. It looks like Los Angeles traffic. Down the front straightaway into 1. Boy, wouldn't you love to be in that right now, Jared Clark. As they work off of 2 down the back straightaway. B feature number 2, it's a good one. As right now Parker's sizing up the 81 of Ingles, but right back, looking back, I mean, it is a group of cars. Jason Ingles will continue to lead here off of turn number 4. John Parker Jr. second, third. The 21G is Steve Grants. Steve Grant still third right now as they hustle off into turn number 1. JT Garland there going to work with the C7 of Vic Case to his outside. Case there in the C7. He was not being scored on the transponder, but I factored it in here. 47 of Earl. I gotta get that groove here. Folks, I'm just telling you right now, if you're blowing my phone up, messaging me on social media through my face, everything, just please, if you have anything, support at raceontexas.com. Thank you. Cody Myers right now has the 10th and final transfer spot. Oh, and he got tagged. Around goes Myers, got tagged by the 100 plus of Cook. Cook got in there a little too hot and heavy and spun the 55M around like a Corpus Christi on Race on Texas, cheering on your good friend Steve Grants. If you know Steve Grants, you got to be a fan of him. One of the nicest guys you'll meet. Grant sits third. Vic Case rides fourth. Johnny Garland or JT Garland of the 415. Tom Earl the third. Richard Tubbs, Ricky Burke Jr. Neil Kemp and Cody Myers had the 10th and final spot before getting a shot in the shorts. I believe that moved in Jacob Wilburn into the mix. Yep, Jay Will takes the 10th spot, and they go 3 wide forward off of turn number 2. Calvin Williams started this one, I believe. Yeah, he started 6th, and he has slid backwards in this one. As Williams trying to get back to it and go back to the outside of the 66 of Jacob Wilburn. As Williams, at that time at the line, took back the 10th spot. All kinds of great racing going on right now around the Boothill Speedway. Tim Higgins has once again prepared another great racetrack here in Greenwood tonight. Can't say enough. Oh, my goodness. And Dwayne Range drove off in there really deep and sold it very cheap. Made contact with Cody Chamberlain. Chamberlain also had a pretty good starting spot in this one, and he just slid backwards after that heavy contact there off of turn number 4. So Cameron Furr's night is abruptly ended. He sits down to the infield of the 1-star car. So working down to 5 more trips around this quarter mile here in Greenwood tonight to find out how we're going to set the outside front row. And Cortland Smith just made big moves. He's making moves, not faking moves, as Brad Doty would say, as they roll into 3. Cortland Smith's got the 7S machine rolling. The Henry's Auto Salvage entry for the big fella. He's got the one flanked to his outside of Tubbs. Tubbs squeezes and tries to walk through the threshold. He does. Tubbs to the outside. They're still going at it door to door. Neil Kemp coming on strong. He's got a hot one heating into turn number 3. Club 20 relegates the 1T back to 6th as Club 20 takes sole command to 5th and puts the bumper to the 7 car. 3 laps to go. Case in the clutches of the 55 of Ricky Burke Jr., who's 8th. 9th this time Earl the 3rd, and Calvin Williams still, once he got around the 66 of Jacob Wilburn, Williams has been able to hold on to the 10th and final spot as the 100 of Lee Patton right there. 2 laps to go. All eyes right here, Austin Wilkins. Between the 10 right here, the yellow machine, folks, is what we're watching for the final transfer spot. As it looks like Jason Ingles is going to be sitting on the outside pole. We're about to find out. A big bobble there at the midpoint of the back straightaway is going to bottle them up. Richard Tubbs got into the wall. They'll get it ironed out, but here we come off a forward of the white flag. Calvin Williams washed up. Oh, my goodness, and that just got ugly. As Calvin Tucker, the pair of Calvins, Calvin and Hobbs, folks, going off into one. It's a dogfight at Boot Hill for the final spot. Oh, boy, it's getting wild. And on the back straightaway into turn number 3, Calvin Williams went all the way down to the basement and got out of the preferred line, and they're going to drag race off a forward of the line. Williams Williams got it. Calvin Williams got it by half a car. Caution. Got a pretty good one brewing here at Boot Hill as they work into turn number 3. I think this is lap number 6 of this 8-lap affair for the heat 2 laps to go this time by underneath the ABC Auto Parts flag. It's the 21 of Rookie Smith making his start here at the Greenwood Oval. He'll hustle it off into 1 as the D-Berry Texan. Chase Hatton, who won 20 times a year ago. Hatton won times a year ago, and the Pro Mod around the Arklatex at 6 different tracks. For the white flag they come. Rookie Smith separates himself. Was 36 of Brian rolling. And that happened going in collision 8 delivery number 6 IRP. Final time. Comfortably roll of it this time. Rookie Smith going to take the win in car number 20. Story, if you will, at that time, driving Cole Smith's car, a car that you'd never driven, and it was just a Cinderella story. We'll talk more about it here in just a minute, man. It's always good to see you at the racetrack, Marcus.
Appreciate you.
Marcus Cottle in the house tonight. Always good to see him. Maybe not be driving, but we'll take him being here in the house anyway. This race is special to him. Stephen Guidry, our most recent advanced powder coating limited modified feature race winner here at Boothill, works his way into turn number 3. Stephen Guidry working the wheel and working it well. Off of turn number 4, he'll roll down the front boulevard. Just gonna underneath, turn the line 1 down, just keep doing it. Oh, look out, Lane Smith. That almost got nasty. He'll exit the back straightaway there, but just nearly gets away. Good to see R.C. Hagan here tonight. Former rookie limited modified driver. Won a big one down at the Jackie Thacker Memorial, I believe, down at Thunder Valley last month. But he's got the number 78 car cooking tonight. R.C. Hagan. Off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. The Marshall Missile, Derek Grizzy giving him a hill. Grizzy in his Express Chassis tonight. Came for 14th, or 16th, was it? One of those, to win our first event of the season. As Derek working, he'll take that spot away from the 78 car. As off of 4 to the white flag comes Stephen Guidry. Uh-oh. R.C. Hagan turned right in front of the field. Great late model main event, ready to take the green flag here at Boot Hill with Cliff Tupper and David Winsett, Jamie Burford in row 2. Billy Mazzell to the outside, as maybe this will get them up on their feet. Hopefully the racing can. But last night, they didn't even have a pulse because they couldn't get up and even cheer. All right, I'm talking about the fans that I've been announcing for 12 years, but this is something else. What the hell is going on around here? Got scored at Dirt on the Rev, I think. So we roll down the boulevard, down into turn number 1. back underway at the Boothill Speedway as they roll off at turn number 2 and set sights down the back straightaway. So the fire marshal showed up, and got to give good spiel about practicing social distancing and what have you. Although we chose to come here and we're not at a grocery store shopping, we're not doing anything. Anyway, that's where we need to practice our social distancing here tonight. And God be the glory, we're all good enough and healthy and willing to be here, so, and able. And we chose to come here. But anyhow, goodness. COVID-19. As Jamie Burford's 19 is pulling the mail around the Boothill Speedway. And he could kill any virus that gets up around that 19, as he's hopefully not the 4th. Between being the most bummed fans I've ever called for, and man, we can't call it, I hate saying that, but man, they really just can't hear, they got other priorities. It just wears me out. Wears me out. So the 19 just sidestepped the 24 of Lindsay, who's going to come up limp, it looks like, at the top of 1 and 2. He may have a tire going down. Lindsay, slow into 1, and the caution flag will come out on the racetrack. Back over. Here comes Winslet. Oh, the 23 looked like he about jumped the cushion. He lost a lot of steam there through 3 and 4. And you got one brewing here tonight at the Boothill Speedway in the correctly main event. You're seeing why right now. As trying to find out if these guys can make it a little bit more interesting here late. But Winslet trying to mount a charge right now. Is everybody right now like a tight route? Or rolling back into 1. Winslet will set his sights back to the spoiler of the number 23 junior, Cliff Tupper Jr. Cody Tupper drove this car last week into the dirt on the rev. Had another good run going and getting to the center of the corner. It's not working as it's working for Winslet. That's when Winslet makes his gains, right to the center of the corner. And Winslet right now going to keep him within striking distance. We've got 5 more trips around the Boothill Speedway. Or either Winslet or perhaps the high side hustler can reel him in and get the job done, but he may need a caution. It's between 23 junior and 21 at this juncture to decide it. They hustle off into 1 and run on the top shelf of the Boothill Speedway. If any cushions up there to grab, they're using it. Working down to it. 3 to go this time by underneath the ABC Auto Parts flag stand. The 23 junior, Cliff Tupper Jr. Again, his son, while Cliff was on vacation, drove this car to a 2nd place finish at our last event here at Boothill. Drove over to Monroe to Revolution Raceway Park and had another good run. And there's the caution that 19 desired. Burford will get the desired caution here. 17 laps score to this 20-lap affair. We're back underway here off of turn number 4. They hustle back into 1 and 2 on the restart. Winslet pushed way high, wide, and handsome. The car would not cut left into turn number 3. Tony Lindsay's driven his way up to 3rd tonight. Winslet way upstairs where Grandpa keeps the good bourbon. He about tagged the wall. That car just all of a sudden did not want to turn. All it does is want to turn left. It don't want to break free. Something's broken the front end. Something. That thing is extremely tight. So off of turn number 4, he'll become another repeat winner at Boothill, and the first time this season, Cliff Tupper Jr. to victory lane. As for the first time this season, and a first-time winner this season, yet to see a repeat in the crate late model division this year, a former Louisiana State dirt track champion, and the EnviroVac Cliff Sorting Service number 23. Give him a hand for Cliff Tupper Jr. and 23. I'm coming there, Cliff. Hey, folks, do him a favor, give him a round of applause. One, Cliff Tupper Jr., your Crate Late Model feature winner tonight. I tell you what, Cliff, this race car was great all season. I mean, it's been great all season long. Cody's been really impressive in it the last couple times out. You know, when you put your son in a race car, it means you got to do even better when you come back, man. You were up to the task tonight. You held off Winslet there throughout the midpoint of this race, man. This thing was on a rail tonight.
Oh, my gosh. I thought I was going to lose my ride. You know, I went on vacation, didn't know if I had it when I came back. But the car was really good tonight. Finally, we put a good race together. So, really excited.
For a guy that had a lot of success in the limited modified class, how much fun are you having right now with this? And kind of what enticed you to get into this division?
I was getting too old. Now or never. So, yeah.
Have a little bit more fun. Of course, you raced for quite a few years. How long of a hiatus did you have from racing? About 7 or 8 years?
About 6 years at one point, yeah.
Been back full time since 2013. Has it been as good or everything you expected? I mean, you dreamed of racing late models. It seems like you're having a lot of fun.
It's a dream come true. I'm truly blessed.
And you acquired this car from Ray Moore, correct?
That's right.
This is the car that he finished second to Scott Bloomquist in, I believe.
Hey, I did real good then.
Ben Dance told me that little note. Hey, man, I do want to give you an opportunity to thank all your sponsors and supporters that help you get out here to the racetrack week in and week out.
First and foremost, my wife, my son Cody, Randy, Austin, the Simple Church, I'm drawing a blank, Clips Welding, Virovac, they've been with me every year. John McKee, Ray Moore, Car Giant. That's it.
How much tuning do you have to do on this thing during the week? I mean, do you change a whole lot? If you have a bad night, what do you go do to it during the week?
Clean it and park it.
I hear you, man. Well, you're doing a great job behind the cockpit, man. Congratulations on a big win.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Give it up for him, folks. Cliff Tupper, Crate Late Model race winner tonight, presented by Fraser Accounting. Number 4 for the 6th annual King of Boothill. The 6th annual King of Boothill, the baddest factory stock drivers on the planet, ready to wage war for 50 laps for $10,000 on the line tonight. Is the 15G out of Sibley, Louisiana Cowboys. Outside of the Advanced Powder Coating Weekly Racing Series winner, week number 6. Ready to come around, take the 6th edition King of Boothill is underway from the Boothill Speedway here in Greenwood, Louisiana. Underway and working down the front straightaway into turn number 3 on the opening circuit. Sean Grand takes command. Grand jumps up to the outside of the racetrack, takes command as Whitehead's working into the inside of the 81 of Ingalls for second. As we'll see how hard these guys will let to go. Dalton Faulkner told me post-race as they're fanned out 3 different lanes wide. You got a great racetrack right now early. Grand still leads into turn number 3. And off of 4, Ingalls drives it up to the wall in the 81. As Whitehead in tow. Quarter roll for 4 still, 27 of Faulkner. And a 9 of John Parker. So again, looking back at number 1, Sean Graham leads the number 81 of Jason Ingle. Whitehead around the hub of the racetrack, working the wheel and working it well. The yellow flag will come out for the first time of this 50-lap affair. They really pushed that car to its limits, and was a pretty impressive performance and outing for him as the hired gun that weekend. And his typical and familiar number XXX. The Rated R Superstar rolls off of turn number 4, XXX rocket to the green. Oh, and contact between Ingalls and Whitehead. Just a slight little kiss of contact, a little bit of romance of the right side kind. As they roll off of turn number 2 and head down the back boulevard, Ingalls trying to fit the gap and walk to the threshold. Look out, Whitehead. They're going to leave just enough to the outside for the taking. And Ingalls trying to squeeze it. Whitehead gets up and closes that gap. Faulkner's on a mission. Faulkner working the hub, or the middle lane of the racetrack. Here comes the 27 car. The Conroe Texan is digging around the bottom. Ingalls is really loose here off of exit 2, and it'll look like he'll lose one more spot. He's on the loud pedal into 3. Ingles sails it in deep. The 81 car washes up there, top shelf of the wall, almost going 3 wide here. Here comes Club 20. Neil Kemp may have the best car on the racetrack. We're about to find out. We'll see what the lap times indicate. Yep, last time, a 19.063. Not too bad for Neil Kemp. He's digging right now. But Justin Whitehead just turned his best lap of the race, the quickest lap so far with an 18.753. Uh-oh. Whitehead heating up. Last lap, an 18.753 for Justin Whitehead on lap 6. As we work lap number 44 down the back straightaway off the exit of 2 as they head into 3. It's still Sean Graham out of Shreveport trying to get the biggest win of his racing career. For any of these drivers, except for Justin Whitehead, who's trying to score back-to-back-to-back wins, it'd be the biggest win of the career. That there is no doubt. Whitehead trying to spoil the party tonight and say, you ain't gonna come and snatch my crown tonight. What more proving would he need? There would just be absolutely none. Zero doubt about it that he's the king of factory stocks. As he's showing right now as he reels in Triple X. Sean Graham is going to have to drive the best 42 more laps of his life tonight. I mean, he has some heavyweights ready to bark at his back door here as Graham continues to separate by a car length and a half as he rolls off into 1. Last lap time for Sean Graham. An 18.987 to Whitehead 18.859. So just a little bit of a tick quicker by about 1,000. It fluctuates, and that clean air out front will pay dividends. As Triple X rolls off of 4, 92 in hot pursuit. As we look there off of 4, Club 20 got the door slammed shut on him by the 27 of Faulkner. Faulkner rolls off into 1 here, sitting in 4th. They roll off of 2, and he goes way high, wide, and handsome there. Up top where Grandpa keeps a good bourbon. Opened up the door as everybody's seemingly starting to tippy-toe around the outside of the Boothill Speedway. As they roll off of turn number 4, punching the ticket for lap number 30, or 39 laps to go, 11 are scored. 39 remain here at Boothill tonight. As Dalton Faulkner just turned his best lap of the race in the quickest time so far. An 18.682 for Faulkner, Thursday night's quick timer. He may have the best car on the racetrack. Lap times have just indicated it proved it. As Neil Kemp stalking his tire tracks. So it's Faulkner. On lap number 8 was his best lap with an 18.682 again. Everybody right now, business has settled down just a little bit. See if lap traffic ends up becoming a factor and a reality. As I say time and time again, you often want to be the driver sitting in 2nd or perhaps 3rd so you can pick and choose the lane on where you should or shouldn't go based on where the leader elects to go. And that will play right into the wheelhouse for 36J, or 92 tonight in this case. Again, Whitehead driving for Andrew Rossum tonight out of New Boston, Texas. As the first time that Justin Whitehead has not driven his own 36J equipment in this particular event. So the battle still for 3rd is a good one. Ingles trying to fend off the 27 of the Conroe, Texas racer as Whitehead trying to take a bow, or take a dive anyway. Showed the nose to Triple X, just wants to show him, hey, I'm here. As Graham still leading, setting a torrid pace out front. Faulkner told me on Thursday night that it's going to take going hard and being aggressive every single lap. And I'm not sure what I just missed, but maybe his aggressive style may have cost him because he fell from battling inside of Ingles for 3rd and lost his spot to the Club 20 of Kemp. As Garland right there into the mix as well on the back bumper. Everybody right now tight under the top string on the Texas fiddle as Faulkner tries it down to the bottom again. As Neil Kemp now will take a dive down to the bottom of the racetrack while Whitehead goes to the inside for the race lead. Here comes Justin. Whitehead is trying to do it again, folks. Trying to snatch another crown out of Greenwood, Louisiana, and $10,000 more. He's won $40,000 at the Cajun Classic over the years, 8 times a Cajun Classic winner, and trying to lead Greenwood each of the last 3 years with $10,000 extra dollars or $30,000 money in the bank. Whitehead working the inside of the racetrack. How long can Sean continue to fend off the challenge? At some point, that 92 may be able to roll to the in and outs, and the yellow flag will come out. Lap traffic will not become a factor. JT Garland having a career run tonight. Bubba Jones, Phil Dixon, Kyle Cummings. The lights are going to go out with Justin Whitehead trying to go back to back to back here at Boothill. I won't even ask you, can he get it done? We know that he can. Can anyone else get the job done is the question. And can they snatch it from him? They very well may just let him walk the dog on him in Andrew Rawson's car tonight. I'm giving out hope for a hell of a race. I don't care who wins it. As we roll off at turn number 4, just want to see a great race and a good finish. Into 1. If anybody has any, as the caution flag comes out, if anyone has a particular question. Ready to turn up the wick and get this party race started and relight the candles. Justin Whitehead trying to snatch another one. As we're back under the green flag, Neil Kemp, who's a feature winner this season, is gonna try to snatch one from his good friend Justin Whitehead. As Whitehead has said many a times that he would be equally as happy if any of his outlaw cars went to victory lane, but we're talking $10,000 here. This ain't just any kind of, regular $1,000 extra money in the bank. We're talking 10 G's at large. Here comes Dalton Faulkner. A shot in the shorts of the 81. Boy, he's got something cooking. If he can find the lane, he may have the best car. He showed it, lap times indicated, but can he get there? As he got the door slammed shut in his face, he'll diamond off the exit of turn number 2. Dalton Faulkner's up on the wheel tonight. As he works off of 2. Hello, Neil Kemp, and maybe goodbye. He'll get relegated as Faulkner just slid up in front. He'll take third away from Neil Kemp. Faulkner has the best car on the racetrack right now, and he's passing the eyeball test as well. This should be a lot of fun. Let him get in there and start letting him battle with 92 because he wants to get the job. He wants to go up there, and he wants to get one. I don't know if there's any more driven factory stock driver in the business right now other than the driver to the 27 of Faulkner who set quick time here on Thursday. Then maybe who? The driver out front leading this race, who he's a madman. Never been a question of how driven he is. When there's a newcomer in town, Dalton Faulkner trying to prove it to everyone tonight. What I mean by that is Justin Whitehead has proven it time and time and time, and then another time again, that he's the force to be reckoned with in this division. Faulkner wants to become the force as he rolls his way to third, but Jason Ingalls says no. That's as far as you're going to get right now to this point. Ingalls, and his very minimal amount of factory stock stars, Jason Ingalls has once again proved as well that he's a force in any car that has 4 tires and a steering wheel. As racing Jason, the son of the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer Doug Ingalls, using lessons learned from his father, Jason Ingalls on the wheel tonight. I said last night, after I saw the passing points, that I don't think anyone needs to sleep on Jason Ingalls. Didn't seem like many folks were saying, yeah, he's going to win this race. But Jason Ingalls would be silly to count him out, regardless of his minimal amount of starts. I don't think that it would play a factor, as right now he is starting to work the wheel. He just turned his best lap of the race, but so did Whitehead. On lap number 25 of this 50-lap affair, as we're halfway. 25 laps scored, 25 laps to go as we work lap 26. Justin Whitehead just turned his best lap on number 25 with an 18.707 to Jason Ingalls' 18.752. Both turned as Neil Kemp just turned his best lap on 26. An 18.685 for Neil Kemp. So Neil Kemp, and then Whitehead just turned up the wig. Oh my goodness. Whitehead just turned his best lap on lap number 27. A long way to go yet. And 3 more laps, it'll be down to a regular dirt track 20-lap Saturday night feature event. And it's 22 laps to go this time by the line. The back-to-back King of the Hill is trying to put another back on the end of that pair of backs there. The trophy case and the checks on the wall are a mountain. He's about to have a mountain more full of cash if he continues to do what he's doing right now. He's starting to hit his marks, and he's starting to do Justin Whitehead things here in Greenwood, Louisiana again tonight. Trying to make it a snoozer for all these great race fans in the house, watching them race for 10 large, and Justin Whitehead needs no extra incentives. As $10,000 he said in Victor Lane last year was enough to get him out here, obviously. But I've said it each of the last several years when he's done this, he had heartbreak at this event particularly. He was snake bit at Boothill after having so much success at the Cajun Classic, winning the Longhorn, and just many other Crown Jewel factory stock races. This particular race haunted him for the first 3 years. And well, broke here on lap number 42 in 2017 when Grigsby ended up taking that 7,000 that night. Justin led every lap of that race all the way up until lap 42, and he broke a distributor. Very seldom does he break anything on the race car, but with snake bit. But obviously, he's made up for it each of these last pair of years. and we'll see what happens, because there's a long way to go yet if you consider that factor, as he's not in his own personal equipment, but I promise you that he's combed that car over with a fine-tooth comb as if it was his own equipment. As Rossum has put a hired gun behind the cockpit, and none better than the one right now out front leading this race. As the caution flag will come out here with 20 laps to go. We're down to a regular Saturday night special. So we're down to a regular 20-lap dash this weekend. Driving as the hired gun for Andrew Rossum. He'll try to park the 92 car in Victor Lane. But I'm telling you, folks, this race is far, far from over. Anything can happen. 20 laps to go. Whitehead leads. Jason Ingles and Neil Kemp back to the green flag. And we're back away at Boot Hill. Here we go. Jason Ingles trying to take 10 grand large out of Greenwood tonight. One of his home tracks. He's a multi-time Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner. He'll hustle off into turn number 3. Race monitor scoring system has just went down. Jason Ingles to the inside for the race lead. So we'll just call it like we call a regular race anyway. Lap times are out the window. They need to pass the eyeball. They make a game, we'll call it. All right, into turn number 3. Off of 4 this time by the line. Neil Kemp on the tail tank of the 81 of Ingles as Kelly Lockey has forced his way by the 15G to drive up to the 6th spot behind Garland, who sits 5th. And how about Neil Kemp taking another dive to the inside of the 81. Top road dominant right now. It seems to be the place you want to be. As we may get a caution, we will. Top of turn number 4, we'll get the caution back out onto the racetrack here. If you hear me, holler if you think that 92 of Justin Whitehead's going to win this race tonight. Or how about it for Jason Ingles or Neil Kemp? We're getting back underway off of 4. Enough of the silly stuff. Yeah, these fans are just, they're awesome. They're awesome. They're faithful. But they're bumps on logs, ain't they? Man, that's not the right thing to say. Here comes Club 20. Neil Kemp has got the wheel working tonight. Off of turn number 4, they roll down the front straightaway. Neil Kemp is pulled to the tail tank as we go, as we call him Steel Neil for a reason. Or I call him Steel Neil anyway. As Neil Kemp is working the wheel. And like I say, he's working it well. Whitehead's got to be feeling the pressure. Can Neil Kemp do what he's done over at Timberline Speedway and what he did here to TJ Evans on week number 6 of the season, where he lived up to his moniker and stole one? Is Steel Neil going to try to steal one from his good friend Justin Whitehead, as Neil, and that you could say it's the Outlaw Chassis house car, and that Club 20 suspension, Neely Service Center, Best Engines, Club 20, as Kemp has become quite good friends with Justin Whitehead. And like I mentioned earlier, Whitehead would love nothing more than perhaps here comes Neil Kemp for the race lead. Kemp out of a C main tonight, rolling into turn number 3. And off of 4. They're going to go door to door for the race lead. 10 laps to go this time by to settle the score. We work lap number 10 this time. Next time by it'll be 9. A little bit of contact for the race lead. Oh, baby. A little bit of contact for the race lead there. A little bit of right side romance. As they work into 3, Kemp's going to work the middle lane of the racetrack. A lot of these guys say they'd wreck their mom to win 10 grand. 2 good friends going to work the wheel well, and Jason Ingles licking his chops. He says, oh yeah, fellas, y'all get in there and ruffle each other up just a little bit more. And Garland right there licking his chops as well, as Ingles into the mix again. Here comes racing Jason Ingles. Oh boy, we got a dogfight brewing here. Into turn number 3, Whitehead has just turned up the wick. Whitehead says it ain't going to happen today, Neil. Neil trying to steal one and live up to his moniker again here in Greenwood tonight. Stole $5,000, well documented from Lee Carver's pocketbook, and took their lunch money at Timberline Speedway in the 2017 running of the Factory Stock 50. Stole one from TJ Evans here as they were both working for their 4th straight wins here at this speed plant. There he comes for the race lead. Whitehead just may have broke something. Neil Kemp gonna go to the race lead at Boothill Speedway for the first time tonight. Goes nuts. They want to see another King crown, and Whitehead says not so quick as they work down to the inside. It's like shots at Knoxville. Can't stand to see him win, but you gotta love it. Like Blomquist says, at least they're cheering on something. As off of turn number 4. Still got to respect what the guy can do in a race car. That there is no doubt. And he'll go off and represent us well in a modified later. You'll be cheering him on. And into turn 3. You got to have the outliers in this sport. And you could feel it that the fans are just, they want to see a new winner. You can't blame them. As they work into 1, it's Neil Kemp. who has snatched one and living up to his moniker, stealing one from Whitehead. Didn't have to wait till the final circuit to get the job done, but guess what? This race is still not over. It's 4 laps to go, this time by underneath the ABC Auto Parts flag stand. And the driver of the Neely Service Center, Club 20 Best Engines, Club 20, Anil Kemp from Kirby, Arkansas, trying to score one for the state of Arkansas. Caution is out for Dalton Faulkner in the 27 car. Oh boy. And 4 more laps to decide it. Club 20, 81X, and 92, 415, and 14 to decide it. As we're back underway at the Boothill Speedway, Whitehead got a good restart to the outside of Ingalls. He's got a head of steam brewing into 1. Lockie, how about Kelly Lockie? Wife Whitney, probably about to have a I don't know what. And they work off of 2. Ingalls is squeezed by the second. Jason Ingalls is squeezed by the second. He'll take the spot, slide up in front of the nose of the 92, outlaw chassis, and driving down underneath. Man, that was a textbook move by Whitehead. And a smooth move, but it did not work as Ingalls working the wheel well tonight. But the harder they get to battling for second, they're allowing Club 20 to distance himself as the fire marshal showed up tonight. And now Club 20 working on his social distance. Into turns 3 and off of 4. The Laser chassis taking second and command of that spot. It's an outlaw out front, followed by the Laser and the outlaw, followed by another Laser. And they work off of turn number 2 and now in the back straightaway into turn number 3. The white flag will be coming out this time by at the Boothill Speedway. $10,000 hangs in the balance for the final quarter-mile trip and the driver who's driven out of a C-main tonight. He started 8th. Marcus Cottle's in the house tonight. He started 8th and won the 2015 running. From Kirby, Arkansas, the second Razorback to win the King of the Hill, Neil Kemp. Steel Neil wins it in Club 20. The biggest win of Neil Kemp's career will come tonight here at Boot Hill. Well, here he comes, folks. Making his way to ABC Auto Parts victory lane tonight, folks. Getting ready to burn it down, I do imagine, at the Kirby. And the Best Engines. Here he comes, folks. When he gets out of the car in a minute, I want y'all to give another big uproar. But he has worked hard to put himself in this position tonight. As the driver of the Outlaw race car, Club 20 suspension, Best Engine powered Outlaw chassis from Kirby, Arkansas. He'll burn the house down on the front straightaway. Give him a hand. Neil Kemp in Club 20 in victory lane. When he climbs out of the car here, folks, y'all give him a big uproar. He probably can't breathe. From Kirby, Arkansas, the former factory stock 50 winner will get $10,000 of money in the bank tonight. And the A&T delivery, Best Engines Neely Service Center, Swift Springs, Team 5 Enterprise. Here he comes, folks. Give it up for Neil Kemp in Club 20. He'll celebrate here with all his team first. I'm going to get him right up here in front of you fans. All right, folks, I know I asked you 3 times. Y'all give him a hand one more time. Neil Kemp in Club 20, your feature winner tonight. You get out of the car, when you get out of the car and you see these fans going nuts for you like that, man, what's it feel like? It's got to be pretty awesome.
That is awesome. When I under caution there and I come down the front straightaway and a bunch of people standing up, man, it don't get no better.
I mean, it's satisfying, I'm sure. I mean, Justin Whitehead's become one of your best friends, and I mean, he had a great race car this weekend. I mean, me and Dalton Faulkner talked about it the other night. It was going to go through. It may not have been in 36J this weekend, but he was trying to go back to back to back, and you knew that he'd be a factor. For you to go clean and get one from him, it's got to be really special too, because he's been at this particular event.
For sure. When I got up beside him, we made contact, and oh man, I thought I got him loose there one time, and he kind of jumped the rut there, and I got by. And under caution, you know, I thought he might think I bumped him or something there. I mean, we made a little contact, whatever, and he fist bumped me, you know, under caution, and man, it's pretty awesome.
How much does 10,000? What does 10,000 do for you and your race team?
I don't even know.
It's awesome. I mean, to anybody here take extra 10 G's of money in the bank, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. When I got to third, every time on the restart, Ricky would choose, or Jason would choose outside, and I just couldn't go on the bottom, and I was sitting there thinking, oh man, I guess that's $1,500 anyways. And then I seen Dalton on the outside of me there, and man, that's a bad to the bone hot rod.
I'm curious to know if you had a game plan prior to the race. Marcus Cottle won this race. He started 8th in 2015. You started 8th tonight. What was your game plan when you set out from the drop of the green flag?
Shoot, I don't know, man. Just stay steady, focus, you know, hit your marks. The racetrack was kind of rough. Shoot, I don't know. I just tried to prepare for it, just like I do any other week.
50 laps, though. You've won a $5,000 race over at Timberline Speedway. You stole one on the last lap. You didn't necessarily get this one still on the last lap tonight. You got it, though, within 10 laps to go. Living up to the moniker once again. I think we can finally pat it. It's still nil, man. I mean, we're no more three-wheel. You're still nil. You stole another one tonight.
Man, I'll take that name.
Hey, I want to give you a chance, though, to thank all the sponsor supporters that help you get up and down the roads of this Club 20 car.
Outlaw Race Cars, Team 5 Enterprises, Best Engines, Club 20, A&T Delivery, Rawls Racing, LCC Trucking, Ben. Shoot, I can't even read my door down there. I know I'm forgetting some people. Dexton, he's been with me this week. Man, Cody Myers, he knows I go racing by myself, and he literally drives his four-wheeler no matter where I'm parked, and it helps me. It means a lot.
Great friends, man. That's what this sport is all about, man. To have your son right here in Victor Lane with you, too. We'll wrap this up here in just a second. I love the emotion, man. I think a lot of folks respect, man. You race hard everywhere you go. You've had a great year, man. Maybe one of the best racing seasons you've ever had in your racing career. You said earlier this year that Outlaw, that's the best car you've ever sat behind the wheel of. I think that solidifies this as well.
By far, by far. I got a lot of people that help me. You know, I just, I take my car to Justin's shop all the time, and man, no telling how much money I owe him for parts. He won't ever let me pay him for this and that. Man, he's awesome. I mean, yeah, we became best friends, and it's awesome. I enjoy it.
Congratulations to you, Neil. Class act, and congratulations on a big win tonight. $10,000 money in the bank.
Thank you very much.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Kirby, Arkansas's Neil Kemp.
Happier than when I won it last year. Man, he needed that, and it's emotional for all of us, obviously, but damn, he had a good car, and I seen it was his fender. I tried to hold him up, but damn, he was fast.
Yeah, he was real fast. You know, this race kind of hurt you. You know, it was hard for you, you know, the first couple years, but, you know, each of these last couple years, last year, it was probably the best car you've ever had here. How did it kind of work out for you to put the car up, you know, allow Dylan Adams to drive it, but for you to get the nod to drive Andrew Rossum's car? Did he call you, or how did that work out?
Oh, man, he works over a shop, too, but it's all irrelevant. This man's taking home 10 grand, now we got a motor to take apart.
Yeah, an Outlaw car in Victor Lane. Congratulations, Justin.
Thank y'all.
Give it up for him, folks. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Whitehead comes home second tonight. The limited modified main event, the green flag getting the oh, boy, that got closer. 3 wide for the race lead on the start as it hustled off into 1. Working off a 2 down the back straightaway here on the start. Into turn 3. Here comes the Marshall missile. Derek Crazy on the outside. He'll cross lanes. He'll cross down to the low side of the racetrack as they go down the front boulevard into 1. Oh my gosh. Wilding out on the front straightaway on the start of this one. Uh-oh. And they roll into 1, and we got a Walmart in the Target parking lot.
Here, Stephen Guidry in the lead. Here we go. Stephen Guidry going to lead him down there and turn 1 down there with Derek Grigsby right behind him. Chase Hatton coming up fast. Oh, here comes Chase Hatton. Chase Hatton got to run him down. caution. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
You want to keep going?
No, I'm good. It was different.
It was different. It was different. I don't know how you do this all night. I want to give it. I meant to hit both the factory stock and the limited modified. Won $1,000 here back in 2017, the night that he won $7,000. So he took $8,000 total back to Marshall. As Grigsby has got a hot rod again here tonight, trying to get his third win of the 2020 season. We're back underway. Victor Derek may not have been able to park the factory stock in Victor Lane tonight. But talking to Derek this week, hearing us such about Wes Grigsby's health, I had to personally message Derek and ask him what was going on with Wes. And Guidry just broke. Tough break for Stephen Guidry, trying to go back to back. And he won't even be able to give a fight to the 69, as Grigsby is certainly going to be up to the challenge. We'll get a caution out. On a Saturday night here for Stephen Guidry, who is trying to pick up back-to-back wins. Guidry expired the K1 car to the infield, and Derek Grigsby inherits the race lead as we're working back to the green flag, this time off of turn number 4. .42 car is on fire underneath the hood, literally. Oh, contact for second. I was really keep miles on that 42 car because it was literally in flames. It's gone out. All right, that is, And the Marshall missile assumes the race lead and leads us back to the green. Good racing on that restart with Colby Mewburn and the Mad Hatter. We're going to get back underway. I do want to make mention right now that McGuire Parker is making his third start behind the wheel of the number 15 car. That his awesome dad found himself behind the cockpit of. Still made his hearts with this Mike. Tonight, the youngster McGuire is 21 years old, and we got laser on it. I don't know what the hell's going on here right now. These guys can't cut any each other slack. Alpha 4 backing away at Boothill. Ricky Burke Jr. got himself a hot rod working the hub of the racetrack in the number 55. Roll into turn number 3. 36 upon for Colby Mewburn. Oh man, Carson Bradley just drove in there and just wiped. He actually didn't wipe him out. The 9K car didn't hardly get through. Derek Grigsby is trying to work on his social distancing tonight as the fire marshal, like I said, showed up. Oh man, we got one. Oh, Slick nearly got to the wall. Brandon Brown has driven his way up to third in car number 13. Brandon Brown rolling to third. Trading this week for that number 13 IRB car from Hammond. As Hammond wanted to race for 10 grand, Brown said, I don't care. And Brown is really taking a liking to these limited modifieds. Look out, Casey Penn. Wow. Non-car just took a roll to the infield, and Casey Penn's night just ended. Penn's going to slow at the entrance of turn number 3, and we will get the caution more than likely at the top of turn number 4. Penn will slow. Here comes Colby Meever with a good restart. My goodness. And we're going to get a caution right immediately back out on the racetrack. World, man. All before we're backing away at Boothill. Colby Meever has got another solid restart to the inside of the Marshall Missile. Backing away and hustling off into turns 1 and 2 on the start. Greasy working the wheel down the back straightaway as he heads off into turn number 3 with the race lead. Colby Meever trying to use lessons learned from his father Brian off of turn number 4. Battle for 14th now. For Boone Evans to the inside of the 55 of Slick. Slick Rick turns down the challenge, continues at it. Everybody needs to calm down just a little bit, and we can get some green flag laps logged in so they can run the entirety of it, which they're scheduled. Lights are going out, and we're getting back underway off of 4. Derek Greasy's at the midpoint of the back straightaway. Everybody in this race is working on their social distancing. A few times I'm trying to finish not that I have anything clever to say, but was make mention that the fire marshal showed up. It's not really making that a laughing matter, but there's that mom. There's that mom. Look out for the moss now. All right, I gotta get back to work. All right, Derek Greasy, I kindly apologize. When you go back and check this on the race, I'll take you. A lot of rough and rowdy going on around here. Huge ass moss back there. Wig out. So into 1, the driver of the Marshall number 69 will work the wheel off of 2, set his sights in the number 3, they'll get ready to roll off a 4 to the white flag this time. In car number 69. On opening night, the last weekend of February, the Memphis Express race car started just behind mid-pack. The driver of the Marshall Little Auto, true local offer, 1 call staffing, 5-star builders. Express race car. Number 69. The Marshall Missile will go back to ABC Auto Parts Victor Lane and get one for West tonight. Grigsby gets a popular win tonight in a race that he's had much success at. Derek's won this race. Only driver to win this race with the So his 3rd career King of the Hill title. He's got one for $7 grand in the factory stock. Going to be his 2nd here in the limited modified division. JCT Auto Sales, True Love Law Firm, One Call Staffing, 5-Star Builder, Marshall Lubinato, Roscoe Glide number 69, Express Race. Give it up for the Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby. Y'all give him a hand, time, folks. Derek Grigsby, your limited modified winner tonight, going to make his way here to the front stretch. That way we know the mic won't cut out. Man, yeah, from the drop of the green flag, it's pretty obvious this thing, the 69 car was real good earlier this evening. And tough break for Steven there. You guys are probably going to have a pretty good race there, man. But this car was really good all night, and you were up on the wheel.
Yeah, I really feel bad for Steven. Got in there, got a good restart, and we got a good run on him. And I thought I could slide in there. Definitely didn't mean to go up and take his groove. Was just trying to get by him, and I mean, there's no way around it. I body slammed him, and I'm sure I had something to do with whatever broke on the car. Not excited about it. Steven doesn't drive me like that. It's kind of disappointing.
I honestly didn't even see it. I did not see it. But a class act like you are, Derek, and you guys are typically pitted right next door to each other, and I'm sure you guys will talk it out. I'm sure everything will be fine, water under the bridge there. This race in particular, this event has been special to you. I mean, 2017 you won it. 2017 you won this event and took 8,000 back to Marshall. This particular race has always been very special to you, and tonight I know you know pretty heavy in your heart. You got one here for your dad as well.
Yeah. You do this to me every time.
But I know it really means a lot to your entire family, though. Anytime you can win at this racetrack, a place where the Grigsbys have won many, many races. Your dad won so many at this racetrack, and I've told the fans all weekend. I didn't mean to get you emotional, Derek, but I mean it's everybody loves your dad here, and to add to the great drive that you had here tonight, I know that's always in the back of your mind. You want to get one out here for your pops.
Yeah, really wanted to win that factory stock race. We had a really good piece. We didn't. The track just didn't agree with the track, and the heat races, the car wasn't that great. When it got like this, it was really fast. We could have started up front. We would have had something for them. That's kind of disappointing as well. But we won this one, and I'm excited about it. Besides the deal with Steven, which is this is not the way I want to race anybody. But I got to thank my sponsors anyway. True Love Law Firm, JCT Auto Sales, 5-Star Builders, Roscoe Glide Transmissions, Wade's Paint and Body, Marshall Lubinato. That little boy right there.
How old is he now?
He's 1.5.
1.5. All right, folks. Y'all give him a hand one more time, folks. His third career with the King of the Hill, the Marshall Missile. Derek Grigsby going to head back to Marshall tonight with a smile on his face. Congratulations, Derek.
Thanks, buddy.
Give it for him, folks. Derek Grigsby, one more time. The Marshall Missile gets the job done.